Hello, it's Amin again, with a new topic on LaTeX, an open source typesetting system designed for creating high quality text documents. I want to increase the diversity of the contacts so that I can share my experience in more topics. In this video, I will demonstrate how to write and customize your documents in LaTeX with a special focus on creating and formatting your thesis. I won't focus on comparing the pros and cons of LaTeX with widely used tools like Microsoft Office, because in my view, they serve the same purpose through different approaches. The choice between them is ultimately a matter of personal preference for researchers. That said, I highly recommend LaTeX to anyone working an extensive document, particularly graduate students or researchers preparing their thesis or any formal documents. Personally, I use LaTeX for writing my CV thesis and journal articles. Before we dive into LaTeX, we need to set up our environment by installing 3 essential pieces of software. I've included the download links in the description below for your convenience. Before we get started with the writing our LaTeX document, it's important to get organized. First, create a dedicated folder on your computer where you will store all the files related to your project. This will include your .tex file as well as any figures, images, or other resources you will be using. When adding images or figures to this folder, I recommend giving them simple names. This makes it much easier to reference them later in your code. First, let's create a new file with the .tex extension. This file will be the core of our LaTeX document. Open it with your LaTeX editor. Before we start writing contact, we need to specify the format of our document using the /document class command. This is one of the most important steps, as it defines the overall structure and style of your LaTeX document. Let me break this down for you. Letter paper specifies the paper size. You can change this to other options like A4 paper if needed. 12 pt sets the default font size for the document. You can adjust this to 10 pt or 11 pt if you prefer smaller text. In addition, if you want your document to have 2 columns instead of 1, you can add 2 columns like this. Report indicates the document class. In this case, we were using report because it's ideal for thesis writing, as it includes chapters and sections that we will need. The next step is load our packages. Packages in LaTeX are like add-ons that extends the functionality of your document. After you've added your packages, it's time to start writing the content of your document. To do that, we need to use the /begin document command, which tells LaTeX that is where the contact starts. Everything you want to appear in your document from text to figures will go between the /begin document and the /end document commands. To keep our LaTeX code clean and organized, it's a good method to move our packages into a separate file. We will save this file with a .sty extension. This file will act like a custom package that we can easily call from our main document. Now, in your main.txt file, instead of listing all your packages individually, you can simply call this .sty file using the /package command, like this. Now, let's customize the margin of our document using the geometry package. This package is very powerful and allows you to easily adjust the page layout to fit your needs. For our teasers, we will need some additional packages that are commonly used to enhance document formatting and functionality. One of them is TableRx. This package provides additional features for tables. Graphic X. It's essential for including and manipulating images in your document. Float. This package gives you more control over the placement of your figures and tables in your document. Enum item. This package is used to customize lists including itemize, enumerate, and description lists. It allows for greater control over the list formatting and numbering. Also, it's better to give our image folder path like this. And from this way, we can increase our line space size. This last package is just only for generating random text and it is not essential. It's a good idea to separate each chapter into its own file. This approach will make it easier to manage and edit your document, especially as it grows. You need to repeat the package file task, but save it with .text file. In your main.txt file, you will need to use the input or include command to include each chapter file. This allows LaTeX to combine all the files into one document. Let's begin with titles. We have a lot of keyboard shortcuts for the codes in this LaTeX editor. For instance, you can use Shift plus F1 to make this chapter title. Now let me generate a random text with this code. Similarly, for section title, you can use Shift plus F2. Now let's create a title without numbering using star. And the smallest section title goes with Shift plus F4. For adjusting font, for example make it text bold, you need to do this. Similarly, for italic text, we have now for making text size tiny, you need to do this. In contrast, for making it huge, we use codes like this. If you want to comment out or disable lines of codes, you can use Ctrl plus D. This shortcut toggles comments for the selected lines, making it easy to temporarily remove code without deleting it. Now, after some introduction, let's create our title page using this method. To do this, give beginning of title page. Center all text. And use this code to insert our logo, which was in our image folder. Make whole page text larger. In this section, you need to write any required titles that related to your university format. give some space with this code. I want to make the main title of document even larger with uppercase L. And then finally, I need to insert the date. This was the basics. Now let's move on to writing the main body of our document, where we will include various elements such as figures, tables, and equations. In TeXstudio, you can use the built-in wizard to insert figures. This will prompt you to enter the file name and set options such as width and placement. Alternatively, you can manually add a figure with the following code. Give the name of your image file, adjust the width, and caption as you need it. The /label command is used for referencing the figure later in your text. For tables, TeXstudio also provides a wizard, or you can use appropriate shortcuts to create a table with predefined options. If you prefer to code it manually, here is the basic example. This code creates a table with borders, adjusts the column format and content as needed. For equations, you can write it inside the text like this. And for a typical equation with its reference number, use this. Again, label is used for referencing the equation in your document text. For bullet points, use the items environments. Here's the basic example. Each item command represents a new bullet point in the list. Similarly, for numbered list, use the enumerate environment. Now let's go a little bit professional. You can use the new command feature to define custom commands. This is especially useful if you have repetitive codes or if you want to simplify complex commands. You can also define commands for more complex structures or repeated patterns. For example, if you frequently use a specific table layout. Let me show you how you can turn repetitive code into a simpler, reusable format. Each of these hashtag numbers can be changed and adjusted while using these custom commands. You can customize the appearance of your itemized list in LaTeX to better fit in the style of your document, like adjusting the spacing between items and the list margins using Itemize option. Citations are an essential part of academic writing, and LaTeX make it easy to manage references with MiKTeX. For this, create a new file with a .bib extension, such as reference.bib, where you will list all your references in standard BibTeX format. Here's an example of how to format entries in the .bib file. Replace this section with the name of your reference file. To cite a reference within your LaTeX document, use the /cite command with the citation key from your .bib file. Sometimes you need to double combine it to update the references. If you prefer to use the traditional LaTeX approach for managing references instead of bib LaTeX, you can use this environment. This method allows for manual management of your references entries directly with your .text file. For advanced customization of your LaTeX document, you can use the following packages. Use Fontek to select and customize fonts. Also, to use a custom font, ensure it is installed on your system. Before using it, make sure you are compiling file with the XE LaTeX. Include the Xcolor package to add colors. Apply colors to the text and elements like this and also change its opacity. Include the FootMix package for footnote customization and make it appear at the end of the page. You can customize headers and footers with fancy HDR. If you had no idea how to use any of them, you can open the package document and learn a lot about them. But honestly, I prefer the fastest way of using AI. Include the CleverRef package for smart referencing. You can customize references label and formats. For example, writing automatic short form of figure before reference number. Finally, at the end of tutorial, insert table of contents using this command, usually after the title page and before the main content. Add the list of figures command where you want the list of figures to appear. Now place the list of tables command after the list of figures. And that's it. You've now learned how to set up and customize your LaTeX document. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. Bye until the next video.